Oh. Hey, whoopsie. We might get this right eventually. Not going to hold my breath, though. I don't know what's wrong. The heck happened here? Well.
Right now, watching OBS.
Yeah. This is all kinds of weird going on over here right now. There we go. There we go. Looky there. Turd knows how to use OBS. Coming to a theater near you.
TMZ's online too.
Right. Hey, if only I knew a city in Saudi Arabia, things would be okay. Hey, everybody out there. Good to see you again. It has been a trying week in the Ferguson household over here. Lots of sickness running through this place. But finally, everybody's on the mend. Everybody's doing a lot better. So we're ready to get back here and have some fun once again, because it is Monopoly night in America, or at least to those of you that come out and watch us. I think we're going to do that. This is going to be Monopoly night in America. Because, you know, I've always kind of done Monopoly on Monday, except for really early on I did Tuesdays. What am I talking about? Scruggs said, hurry up. I heard it in my head. Okay, so this is our 8th episode of the 3rd season. We're ready to get out here and have some fun tonight, so let's get to it without any further delay. Let's have some fun. Woo!
Yay!
3, 2, 1.
Yes, Monopoly, the world's most popular board game is now Monopoly TV Bit. Here come the players: red player Sephy, gold player Doug, and green player Brandon. Here comes Mr. Monopoly, Jason Myers, and here's the host of Monopoly, Turd Ferguson.
Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again. As I just said, it's Monopoly night in America. That's right. It is time for one of your favorite board games that has become a TV show. It's Monopoly here, coming to you live from Grandma Studios inside of the MVG production house. I'm your host, Turd Ferguson. You sure as hell aren't. And we're ready to be back here for another week of fun. As we come back, we have got our returning champion. He comes back to us with a total so far this season of $121,180. Yeah. Welcome back to the Monopoly stage, Scott Sephy McVay.
Wow. Dollars? Yeah, I'll take some dollars. No, dollars.
And I'm pretty sure you said something there, but it sounded like mess to me. So
dollars, yeah.
Thousands and thousands of dollars, and ones that you will get in the mail eventually, and they'll probably be in the form of old Monopoly bills. Right. So, Sephy, coming back here, you're on a 2-game winning streak. You've been able to take us not only for the front game the last 2 weeks, but also you've been able to win the bonus game 2 weeks in a row. Can you make it a three-peat this week?
You know, I am not sure. I mean, every time I'm here, I wonder, is this going to be the night I'm going to lose? Is this another going to be one of those successful nights? All I can say is, let's find out.
And that is all we can do to find out. So I do want to give you a chance as the champion to promote yourself. I know you've got a podcast out there that you do on YouTube. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Yes, this is our podcast. It's called Saturdays with McVay and Jay. It involves myself and Jason DeCanio, who is also able to host some of his game shows here on MVG, and he'll be starting up his new season sometime in January. I also like to promote that I actually am hosting my first game show here on MVG as well. It is based off MTV's Remote Control, and currently I'm taping those on Thursday nights, approximately 10 Eastern.
And should we expect to see that wind up on YouTube channel at any point in the future?
I think so. On Arrival Network, I currently have some episodes running on there, and hopefully soon I'll have my MVG episodes coming up very shortly as well there too.
All right. Well, I'm sure everybody's definitely going to look forward to that. Remote Control was definitely a fun game show. So, best of luck with that and with the podcast. Good luck tonight. You're going to need it because we've got some opponents here for you. First, here in the goal position, coming to us from not too many minutes down the road from where I live, it is Doug the Thriller Trovinger. I called you the Thriller. I think I'm just going to have to call you the Arabian Prince. I think that would be a fitting title for you. What do you think, Doug? Doug.
Good answer.
Doug, there's this little button that you click on that makes you not be muted. There you go, buddy.
And will you get away from my podium? Edna needs you in the back. She's making another round of eggnog.
Oh, Lord. Last time I saw Kitty make an eggnog, she put her nipple in it. So,
No, it was Edna, not this Kitty.
No, well, it's what you think. So, yes, Doug, the Arabian Prince Trovinger. How does that sit with you?
A little strange. You could go pound sand.
So Doug, you make your way back here to the Monopoly stage again. We have seen you this season once. You were able to rack up $680 to your name. That does currently put you in 12th place out of 12 players. So what did you learn from the first time you were with us that you think you can carry over this time that will help you come out more successful?
Maybe actually getting some property.
That is definitely a start because it is hard to win this game without property. So to get property, what do we have to do?
Answer questions correctly.
That's right, because here we ask trivia questions. That's right. No flipping coins here. No crying because, that wasn't fair. Can I have another chance? We actually ask trivia questions, and we make people know their shit here. And if anybody knows that, and Doug, we're going to tell you the best of luck here tonight. If anybody knows that I like to ask some off-the-wall trivia questions, it is the man here in our green podium tonight. He is returning to us. This is his 4th visit with us this season. He is currently in 2nd place with $117,765. Ladies and gentlemen, the head honcho himself, Brandon the Watermint Scruggs.
Watermint.
Waterman?
There's a whole story behind it. I'll tell you after the show.
Yes, I think that's that's going to be one of those nicknames or even trivia questions for that matter that's going to haunt you, I think, for the rest of your days online.
More than likely, yes.
Have you had any opportunity to learn more about Watermint?
Not really. Not from that initial lookup of what it actually was, because again, until you had asked me that question, I had never heard of Watermint in my entire existence being. But I at least know now it's the 2 properties that go into making it's one of the 2 types of mint that actually goes into making pepper.
And hey, the more you know. Yes, also known as Mentha aquatica, for those of you out there that are freaking nerds. Okay, so, Scruggs, there's the sound. So, like I said, you come back to us. You're in 2nd place for the season. For most of the series that I have ever done here at MVG, that's an oddity for you because you don't normally get a lot of opportunities to play with us. So do you think, if we remember, we go back to, let's see, that was episode 6, so 2 episodes ago, that's when Sephy took your championship away after you broke the bank and took our jackpot. Are you ready to give him some payback tonight?
Yep, I got a receipt. It's got his name on it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck on cashing in on that receipt. Ladies and gentlemen, there's our contestants. So it is time for us to get into this tonight. I know the question was asked a little bit earlier, and it was asked by interesting individual about who the announcer was tonight. Well, that was Mr. Neil Stranitzky with the golden voice there doing our announcing tonight, because Travis Coulter is hidden somewhere either inside of a bong or he is currently gassing up on some type of chili product. So hopefully we'll see him show his face around here at some point. And if he doesn't show his face, then if you hear a funny noise, it was probably him blowing ass into the microphone. With that being said, let's get into it here. It is time for the first round of our game, the acquisition phase of our game. So, of course, we're going to be making our way around the board one entire time, stopping at each individual property. We're going to ask those trivia questions to our players. If they're able to buzz in and get the question correct, they will get the dollar amount that's at the bottom of that property. If they get it wrong, they lose the money. Nobody gets the question right, then we will cut the property value in half one time until someone is able to get a question right on that property. Once we've made it through all the properties in the color group, if someone owns them all, they're going to get a little special bonus. If it's owned by multiple, then we'll have our little showdown rounds that we are so used to having. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and do a quick buzzer check. So, y'all just buzz in whenever you're ready. There's Sephy. There's Doug. And there's Scruggs. So that means we are good on buzzers. And it is time for us to play. So, of course, we start with our Brown Property Group and Mediterranean Avenue. Players, this is a $60 question upcoming. Good luck. What men's magazine used the slogan, "The best thing..." Doug?
Is it GQ?
No, I'm sorry. It's going to cost you 60. I'll finish the question. The best thing to happen to men since women. Sephy?
Playboy?
No, sorry. It's going to cost you 60 as well. Scruggs, would you like a shot?
I have no idea what this one.
That would be Maxim. Maxim.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so let's cut that property value in half. It's now worth $30 for this one. Which day of the week gets its name from the Norse god of thunder? Scruggs.
It'd be Thursday.
Thursday is correct. $30 to you takes you up to 30, and you have one Brown property. Now we move to Baltic Avenue. $60 players for this question. In sports, what did the NBA's Washington Bullets change their name to? And Scruggs?
Wizards.
Wizards is correct. $60 to you takes you up to 90. And good news, you own both of the Brown properties. So with that comes $120 of combined value, taking you up to $210 and the early lead. We now go over to our light blue properties, and we start with Oriental Avenue. $100 for this first question. In television, the highest rated program of all time was the final episode of what? Scruggs?
MASH.
MASH is correct. 100 to you. You're at 310. You own one light blue. Next up, Vermont Avenue for 100. The name for an eagle's sharp claw comes from which? Sephy?
Talon?
Talon is correct. 100 to you. You're up to 40. So one for Scruggs, one for Sephy. Now we go to Connecticut Avenue for $120. Which New York borough was originally called New Amsterdam? Scruggs?
The Bronx.
No, sorry, it's going to cost you $120. Doug?
Is it Queens?
No, I'm sorry. It costs you another $120. You're at negative $180. Sephy?
I don't want to risk this one.
And we wait for the buzzer to say it was Manhattan. Manhattan.
Oh.
All right, we now have to cut that property in half down to $60. Here comes your next question. What D as in David is a dark chamber used to confine prisoners? Doug?
Is it a dungeon?
It is a dungeon. 60 to you. You're at negative 120. So we're through the light blues. All players own a property. So that means the way we do it here on Monopoly Night in America is whoever gives me two correct answers in a row, or excuse me, two correct answers first, they don't have to be consecutive or in a row. So here we go. Here comes the first one. No money at risk here. In music, what was the name of the lead singer of the Grateful Dead leader who died? Sephy?
Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia is correct. So that's one for you. You need one more to take the Monopoly. Here comes the next question. Who was the first African American to host his own national late night television talk show? Sephy?
Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall is correct. That means you have taken the light blue property group, and I believe that was Jason Myers just blew his head off. Sephy, you get $320 of combined value, taking you up to $360. We now make our turn on to 2nd Street. We're in our magenta properties now, and we start with St. Charles Place. $140, players. Which Popeye cartoon character is known for saying, "I will gladly pay..." And that's Sephy.
Wimpy.
Wimpy, also known as J. Wellington Wimpy. $140 to you, takes you to $500. You own one magenta. Next up is States Avenue for $140. What deep shade of red is the school nickname of Hart? And that's Brandon.
Maroon?
Nope, sorry. That's going to cost you down to 50. Sephy?
Crimson.
So the nickname of the Harvard University sports teams, Crimson, is correct. $140 to you. You go to $640. You own 2 of the properties now. Next up is Virginia Avenue for $160. In children's literature, the character known as the man with the yellow hat is the trusted... And that's Sephy.
Curious George.
Curious George is correct. You get $160 for that property. And Sephy, you own all of the magentas already, giving you $440 of combined value, taking you up to $1,240. We now go to our orange properties, and we start with St. James Place. $180, players. In 1994, a Maryland man crashed an airplane onto the lawn of what Washington, D.C. building? Doug.
Was it the White House?
It was the White House. $180 to you, takes you to $60. You're in the positive, and you're up to 2nd place. You have 1 orange. Next up is Tennessee Avenue for $180. In music, which singer turned the song Unforgettable into a duet with... And that's Sephy.
Natalie Cole.
Natalie Cole. She duetted with her late father, Nat King Cole. $180 there to you, takes you to $1420. 1 for Doug, 1 for Sephy. Next up, New York Avenue for $200. 8 seconds, 8 minutes, or 8 hours. How long does it take light to travel? And that's Scruggs.
8 minutes.
8 minutes is correct. $200 to you, takes you to $250. And we're in the same position again. All players own the property. Showdown means we need 2 correct answers to take the monopoly. Tap dancing star Bill Robinson went by which nickname that was also the title of his autobiography? Doug.
Tappy Tappy.
No, sorry. I'm surprised none of you knew this. Mr. Bojangles.
Oh.
Okay. The song, yeah.
Yep. All right, next one. On television's original Fantasy Island, who played the mysterious Mr. Rourke? Sephy.
Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban is correct. That's 1 for you. Next question. In which European country would you find the port city of Antwerp? Sephy?
Netherlands.
No, sorry. Doug?
Norway.
No, I was thinking he was going to say Saudi Arabia. Scruggs?
Take a shot. Poland?
No. Correct answer was Belgium. Belgium.
Oh.
Ah, it's close.
They make good waffles.
I was almost for good there.
All right. Next up. What state fruit of Georgia is honored annually? Scruggs?
Peach.
The peach is correct. And not the asshole version here. All right. So 1 for Scruggs, 1 for Sephy. Doug, you still have a chance. According to the American Dairy Association, what is the most popular type of cheese in America? Scruggs?
Cheddar.
Cheddar is correct, and you have taken the orange property group. That comes with $560 of combined value, taking you up to $810. We now make our turn onto 3rd Street, and we're at our red property group. We start with Kentucky Avenue for $220. Which sitcom featured a British theater producer who hires a child care worker? Scruggs?
The Nanny.
The Nanny is correct. You're up to $1030. Next up, Indiana Avenue for $220. In anatomy, The metacarpals are bones located in which part of the human body? Scruggs.
Your hands.
Hand is correct. 220 there. You're up to 1250. You have 2 of the reds. Next up, Illinois Avenue for 240. In photography, what term for a camera stand comes from the Latin for Sephy?
Tripod.
Tripod is correct. 240 to you. You're at 1660. So now we're at a showdown with only 2 of you involved. Scruggs, you have 2 of the properties, so it means I need 1 correct answer from you. Sephy, you only have 1. I need 2 correct answers from you. Doug, you'll be watching here. Which Roman gladiator led a slave revolt that became the subject of a Sephy?
In her.
No, I'll finish the question. Which became the subject of a 1960 Kirk Douglas film.
I can't think of his name.
I'm going to say this. Nobody say it real quick. I'm going to give you 1 clue. You can't know nothing at risk here. Carol Channing. Sparty Kids.
Dang it.
I just came up with it after that sentence. So yeah.
All right, so here we go. Next question. William Gray installed the first public coin-operated version of what? And that's Sephy.
A telephone?
Telephone is correct, and Sephy, you have taken the red property group. With that comes $680 of combined value, taking you up to $2,340. We now turn our way to our yellow property group. We start with Atlantic Avenue. It's worth $260. Everyone's involved again. In geography, which West Indies country is home to Montego Bay? Sephy.
Davion would hate me for this. Jamaica.
Davion would be pissed if you didn't know that. Jamaica is correct. 260 to you. Takes you to 2,600. You have 1 yellow. Next up, Ventnor Avenue for 260. In law, what G as in George is the wooden mallet used by a judge? Scruggs?
Gavel.
Gavel's correct. 260. You're at 1510. 1 yellow apiece for Brandon and Sephy. Next up, Marvin Gardens for 280. In 1984, which female pop star recorded the hit single "Girls Just Want to Have Fun"? Scruggs.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper is correct. 280. You're at 1790. We're in the same place we were in the red property group. Scruggs, I only need 1 correct answer. Sephy, 2. And you've done it before. Let's see if you can do it again. Used in horse racing, what U.S. customary unit of measurement is equal to 1/8? Sephy?
Furlong.
Furlong is correct. Next correct answer takes the yellow property. In U.S. military radio communications, which male name is spoken to signify that a message... Sephy?
Roger.
Roger is correct, and you have once again stolen that yellow property group. With that comes $800 of combined value, taking you up to $3,400. We now make our turn on to 4th Street. We're in our green property group, and we start with that very specific avenue. That's right, specific avenue. That I know, that joke's getting old. $300 players, all involved. Here comes your question. In television, what was the maiden name of the sisters played by Delta Burke and Dixie Carter on and that is Doug.
It was the Designing Women.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. You lose 300 there. I'll finish the question. What was the maiden name of the sisters played by Delta Burke and Dixie Carter on Designing Women? You know, I never knew that it was this. Jason, I heard you unmute. What is it?
Sugar Baker.
The Sugar Bakers. That's right.
Yeah, I had the show, but not the name.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of that show when it was on originally, but I absolutely remember that. All right, so we're going to cut that property value in half. It's now 150 players. In literature, what novel tells the tragic tale of the adulterous Puritan Hester Prynne? Sephy.
Scarlet Letter.
Scarlet letter is correct. 150 to you. You're up to 35.50. You have one green. Now we go to the home of Scruggs. Let's see if he can take it. North Carolina Avenue, $300. What term from the Old English for oath breaker refers to a male witch? Scruggs.
Warlock.
Warlock is correct, and you did defend your home. $300 takes you to 2090. Now we go to the home of the president, Pennsylvania Avenue, for $320. The U.S. presidents who immediately succeeded Lincoln and Kennedy both had what last name? That would be Johnson.
Johnson, yeah.
Yes, Andrew Johnson and Lyndon B.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Yeah, those Johnsons. Not the one from history, Big Dick Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, we'll cut the property in half now. 160 players. What J, as in jungle, is an official national gathering of the Boy Scouts of America? Doug.
Jamboree.
Jamboree is correct. 160 to you takes you to negative 80. That means we have one property for each player. So everyone's involved in this showdown. I need two correct answers. What Lake Tahoe ski resort hosted the 1960 Winter Olympics? Squaw Valley. Which fascist ruler ruled Spain from the 1930s until his death in 1975? That would be Generalissimo Franco. In television, what 1980s sitcom character was played by Emmanuel Lewis? Scruggs.
Webster.
Webster's correct. You've got one. You need one more. What term from the Latin for enclosed place refers to an abnormal fear of small spaces? Doug.
Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia is correct. That's one for you, Doug. Palermo is the capital of which Mediterranean island? And that's Doug?
Is it Cyprus?
No. Brandon.
Is it Sicily?
Sicily is correct, and you have taken the green property group. With that comes $920 of combined value, taking you up to $3,010. We now go to our final property group of the acquisition phase. These are our dark blues, and we start with Park Place. $350, players. Elsie the cow was the mascot for what brand of milk? Scruggs.
Bluebell.
No, I'm sorry, it cost you $350. Doug.
Is it Borden?
It is Borden. $350 to you. Nicely done. Takes you to $270. You're back in the positive. Now we're at our final property. It's Boardwalk for $400. The 1996 film Brain Candy starred which Canadian comedy troupe? Sephy.
The Kids in the Hall.
The Kids in the Hall is correct. $400 to you takes you to $39.50. So this final showdown will be between Doug and Sephy. Whoever gives me one correct answer takes this Monopoly. Doug, this will be huge for you. Here comes that question, maybe the last one. According to the book, The Real Mother Goose, in the poem The Cat and the Fiddle, who did the dish run away with? Sephy.
The spoon.
The spoon is correct, and Sephy, you have taken the dark blue properties. With that comes $750 of combined value, which takes you up to $4,700, and we have come to the end of our acquisition phase. Let's see where things stand in this moment. Right now, with no monopolies and $270 is our gold player, Doug Trovinger. In second place, with 3 monopolies and $2,660 is our green player, Brandon Scruggs. And in first place is our current champion. He currently has 5 monopolies and $4,700. It is our red player, Scott Sephy McVay. This is where we take our first commercial break. While we're there, we're going to be allowing our players to make upgrades to their property. And when we come back, we're going to play our 15-minute big money round to find out who's going on to play for $50,000 in our once around the block bonus game right here on Monopoly. All right, welcome back here to Monopoly, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we've got a good game going here for you tonight. So we have, during our commercial break, we have made our upgrades to the properties. Of course, the way it currently is $50 for every house. So that would mean to get all 4 houses on each individual property would cost them $200. Then an additional $50 will take it up to a hotel. So that's $250 per property, and you can see once again, as always, we are completely hoed out on this board. So let's see where things stand in this moment right now. So again, in third place, Doug Trovinger, that's where he still stands at $270. Our green player Brandon Scruggs still in second at $660, and our red player, the champion Sephy McVay, still in first with $1,200. now is one of my favorite times of the night, and honestly one of my favorite times of the week, is when I bring up my very good, close, personal friend onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Mr. Monopoly himself, Jason Myers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
And from what I understand, the Q stands for panache. All right, so yeah, so Jason been
many things.
Yeah, among many things. So yeah, as we know for real, the Q actually does stand for Quantavious. But so Jason, we do have a pretty good game going here tonight. We've got a lot of haymakers flying here back and forth between Sephy and Brandon. What's your take on the game so far?
Yeah, a lot of haymakers being thrown, but somehow they managed to make the board look festive.
This is
time for Christmas.
Yeehaw. This is very true. You make a very good point here, and I'm saying this at the same time, trying to make sure my spot is set up correctly. But yes, very festive looking board as we are getting close to at the time of this live. If you go and watch it back later on in the future, we're only 16 days away from Christmas. That's right. It is right around the corner. And for that matter, that's when it's filming. By the time this thing's over, we're actually going to be 15 days away. So it's almost there. Make sure you get your shopping done. And if you're trying to buy something from me, I will take a 3XLT. What about you, Jason? What size would you need for a new blue wife beater?
I mean, any color will do, actually. XL is fine.
So you guys can make sure. Brandon will make sure that he puts up the link to the Patreon and the address in Silva that you can send all stuff to, and he'll make sure he gets it sent out to us. But yeah, so with that said, you got those lucky dice loaded up. Hopefully they're not the ones that like to get really bouncy and bounce out of the box.
Yeah, made sure these had less bounce on them. About 40% less bounce.
40% less bounce. Fantastic. They must have some of that special weather tread on them.
Yeah, the last ones were made out of flubber.
Well, damn
Did you
flubber.
freeze the dice before the show?
No, we don't freeze them. We put them in the humidor. Yeah, got it. Humidor is where it's got to go. All right, so we'll let Jason get himself set up over in Mr. Monopoly Land as we go ahead and talk about what we have got going on here for our 15-minute big money round. Of course, players, we are going to be making our way around this board as many times as we possibly can, stopping at as many properties and special places as we can. If we stop on one of your properties, you're going to get an individual trivia question for just yourself. Get it right, you'll get the amount based on the upgrade to your property, which all of them are on hotels, so that means we got a lot of big money at risk here. Get it wrong, it won't cost you anything, but it does become a toss-up question for the other two players. If one of them gets it correct, they're going to steal that rent money. They get it wrong, though, and it's going to cost them big time. We, of course, have our other special places like income tax and luxury tax, which just takes money away and throws it over into free parking, which, of course, as always, starts with $500 in there and is waiting for you to land on it and get that one special question right, which can get you a nice little chunk of change. We have got our utilities of waterworks and electric company, which riches are waiting for you there at 100 times per the roll. We've got chance and community chest, which just like to mock me. And, of course, we have our railroads, which means it'll be hostile takeover time, and this game can flip on its head in an instant. So, with that being said, it's time for that 15-minute big money round. Jason will make sure to give us plenty of updates in there on the time remaining so players can make any kind of special moves that they feel like they need to make, any strategy that may be in there, which there always seems to be a little. So, as soon as he gives me that first roll tonight and we move it, that clock will begin.
First roll tonight, we are looking at 6 and 4 for a 10.
Oh, a big one to start, which means we are just visiting the jail. So let's go ahead and have another one.
Almost fast asleep. Don't disturb them. 5 and 6 for an 11.
Another big roll, which is going to take us all the way over to Kentucky Avenue.
And first question of the night goes to Sephy, worth $1,050.
Sephy the question man. Sephy, in the Old Testament, David kills Goliath with a stone flung from what weapon?
A sling.
A sling, or I would have accepted slingshot. 1,050 to you. Takes you to 2,250. Next roll, please.
5 and 1 for 6.
And that takes us to Ventnor Avenue.
All right, Sephy gets another question. This time it's worth $1,150.
Sephy, in geography, what country was formerly known as Ceylon?
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh is incorrect. Toss up now for Doug or Brandon. What country was formerly known as Ceylon? That would be Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka.
Oh, no.
All right, nothing doing there. Let's have another roll.
1 and 4 for 5.
And we're at North Carolina Avenue.
Brandon, this is your home. Defend it well with $1,275 on the line.
Brandon, the infamous phrase, let them eat cake, was attributed to what queen of France?
Queen Mary.
No, I'm sorry, cannot accept that. Sephy.
Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette is what we were looking for. $1,275 to you. Takes you to $3,525. Next roll.
5 and 3 for an 8.
And we've hit go, which means everybody gets $200. About the only way Doug's going to get money. Next roll.
1 and 3 for 4. Oh boy.
Are they okay?
Speaking of,
And we just lost it.
we just hit income tax. Tell them about it.
So, you know that money you just got for landing on go? I'm going to need that back, please. Thank you.
So we take that money away from each of you. That goes into the free parking jackpot, which now stands at $1,100. Next roll.
4 and 6 for 10.
There's that 10 again. And we're at Virginia Avenue.
And here's another question for Sephy. This one's worth $900.
Sephy, in technology, which half-inch Sony videotape format was released prior to VHS?
That would be Betamax.
Betamax is correct. $900 to you. Takes you to $4,425. Those things were massive. Next roll.
5 and 3 for an 8.
And that takes us to Chance. Of course it does. All right. Our first Chance card of the night says, advance to Marvin Gardens. All right. So we will head there.
And that's Sephy's property, so another question for him. This time it's worth $1,200.
All right, Sephy. What ABC show became famous for the catchphrase, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat?
Wide World of Sports.
ABC's Wide World of Sports is correct. $1,200 to you. Takes you to $56.25. Next roll.
5 and 4 for a 9.
The agony of defeat could also speak about Nels Nesrud when he takes his shoes off. All right, we've hit luxury tax.
Yeah, I have to take some more money out of here. This time it's only $75 a piece.
We take that from each of you. Makes the free parking jackpot now stand at $13.25. Next roll.
1 and 5 for 6.
So we have just passed go, $200 for each of you, and we once again hit income tax.
And I'm going to need that right back. Thank you.
So that's $600 additional dollars into the free parking jackpot, which now stands at $1,925 with another roll upcoming.
4 and 6 for a 10.
Wow. I think the flubber is still in there. Virginia Avenue.
Sorry, Sephy. Let's try to get some of that money back on your side. $900.
You need
Sephy,
a replacement, Mr. Monopoly.
right? In theater, which musical is based on a Barry Manilow song about a showgirl named Lola?
Copacabana.
Copacabana is correct. $900 to you takes you to $64.50, and we have another roll this time by Mr. Myers.
4 and 5 for a 9.
And this time it's Indiana Avenue.
Hey, it's a new space, and surprise, it's owned by Sephy. So 1050 on the line for this question.
Sephy, which type of whale is the largest of all known animals?
Blue whale.
Blue whale's correct. 1,050 to you. Takes you to 7,500. Another roll.
1 and 6 for a 7.
And you are all going to jail. That's $50 coming out of each of your banks, which now takes the free parking jackpot up to $2,075. Another roll.
3 and 4 for a 7.
Yes.
And there is community chest.
I think I was getting cursed out in his mind.
All right, Brandon, you're about to be a very happy camper because this card says advance to the next property, which we will, and the owner is going to receive $100 per house and $500
There
per
it
hotel.
is.
Wow.
So, with this, that is going to add, let's see, 15.
$4,000.
$4,000 going over to Mr. Scruggs, which makes this a game again,
Wow.
and we have another roll.
Stop it. Add a
you go.
4.
1 and 5 for a 6.
Oh.
Not a
Okay.
4.
And that's Illinois Avenue.
I mean, technically, we did. Sephy, it's another property owned by you. This one's worth $1,100.
Sephy, in architecture, what gate stands as the Arc of Triumph for the city of Berlin?
Let's see. The Brandenburg Gate.
Brandenburg is correct. 1,100 to you takes you to 8,550. Next roll.
4 3 for 7.
And that takes us to Pacific Avenue.
All right, Brandon, a chance to try to get closer to the lead. 1275 on the line.
Brandon, what term for elaborate decorative lettering comes from the Greek word for beautiful writing?
Is it calligraphy?
Calligraphy is correct. 1275 to you takes you to 5810. Next roll.
5 and 4 for a 9.
I finally get some money.
And that takes us to go for $200 per player. Yes, Doug finally gets some money.
Don't you dare roll a 4.
Next roll.
Don't
Yeah.
Don't you do it.
2 and 3 for a 5.
And that's the Reading Railroad.
This game couldn't get any more crazier. It's time for a hostile takeover. One correct answer will give somebody a chance to take over somebody else's property. Good luck.
All right, here it comes. The poet Ogden Nash wrote, "Candy is dandy, but liquor is..." Sephy?
Quicker.
Say it again.
Quicker.
Quicker, yes. We didn't get the first syllable there, but we got you that time. That's correct. So you now may attack one of Brandon's properties. You want to go after the browns, the orange, or the greens?
It's not much, but I'll go for the Browns.
All right, you're going for the browns. So we will start at Mediterranean. 250 at risk for this first question. I need 2 correct answers if you'd like to steal this property. All right, here we go. In 1951, a Houston radio station was the first to transmit traffic reports using what form of airborne transportation?
Helicopter.
Helicopter is correct. So now we will move over to Baltic. Correct answer here, you take the browns from Brandon. Incorrect answer, you're going to pay him $450. In the song America the Beautiful, what color are the mountain majesties?
Purple.
Purple is correct, and you have stolen the brown property group. With that comes $120 of combined value, taking you up to $8,870, and this hostile takeover was successful. Next roll, please.
Jason, please don't roll a 1.
How about a 6 and a 3 for a 9?
And that takes us to the electric company.
And that's one of the utility properties. This question is worth $900 since I rolled a 9 times 100.
Players, in the U.S. Constitution, what Q as in quiet is the minimum? And that's Doug.
Is it a quorum?
Quorum is correct. $900 to Doug takes him to $1,245. Very well done. Let's have another roll.
With just under 5 minutes to go, our next roll is a 6 and a 4 for a 10.
Oh, no.
And go look, there is chance. So this card says we're going to add a 6 to the very next dice roll. So go ahead and give us another roll and add 6 to it.
Okay. So 2, 3 is 5 plus 6, 11.
So we fly around the
You
board.
added 6. I'm just saying.
So we have just landed on, we've landed on community chest. So, Scruggs, you remember how you got excited earlier? Not so exciting this time. Green player, you must make building improvements. $50 per house and $250 per hotel. That's going to be $750 for each Monopoly. So $1,500 that's going to cost you. So we're going to take that away from you. We're going to throw that over into the free parking jackpot, which now takes it to $3,575, and we're ready for another roll.
2 and 6 for an 8.
And that's Mediterranean Avenue after we pass go and give everybody $200.
And Scott, you just picked up this property. Now this question goes to you. It's worth $250.
Scott, what pair of Disney chipmunks starred in the Oscar-nominated cartoon Toy Tinkers?
That'd be Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale, the Rescue Rangers. $250 to you takes you to $93.20, and we have another roll.
Let's go 6.
1 and 2 for a 3.
Oh, not again.
And we've just hit income tax.
Pay up $200. Thank you.
That $600 that we've just taken goes into the free parking jackpot, which now stands at $4,175. Next roll.
Just under 3 minutes now. Got a 12. It's doubles.
Did you just say 8 minutes?
Under 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes. Okay, St. James Place is where we land.
All right, Scruggs, a chance to recoup some of the money you lost. This is worth $950.
Scruggs, which newspaper began publishing the Pentagon Papers on June 13th of 1971?
Was it the New York Times?
It most certainly was. $950 a year up to $54.60. Next roll.
3 and 5 for an 8. Oh.
And that's Illinois Avenue.
All right, Sephy, $1,100 for this question.
Sephy, in television, what actor played inept reporter Matthew on the sitcom News Radio?
Phil Hartman.
No, I'm sorry. Toss up now for Doug or Scruggs.
Pete, one more time.
In television, what actor played inept reporter Matthew on the sitcom News Radio? His last name goes with who he is as a person. Andy Dick.
Oh,
Oh, that one, of course.
Yep. All right, next roll.
6.
And we're losing more money.
And you guys are headed to jail. Costs you $50 a piece. That is additional money to free parking, which is now up to $43.25. Next roll.
please
That
roll
would be
a 10 now.
1 and 6 for a 7.
We have now hit community chest. This time it says advance directly to go. So around we go. Where we stop? Well, we kind of know because it's going to be go. $200 for each player as we get another roll.
4 goes to the income tax.
4 and 6 for a 10. There it is.
And we're just visiting Bubba again.
Do it
Next
again.
roll.
One
Do
more
it again.
10. One more 10.
Doubles, it's an 8.
That takes us to Tennessee Avenue.
All right, Brandon, this question goes to you. It's worth $950.
Brandon, in colleges, what animal mascot is shared by Auburn, Clemson, Princeton, and LSU?
Tigers.
The Tiger is correct. $950 takes you to $65.60. Next roll.
Doubles, it's a 10.
So that's Waterworks.
There's the other utility property players. This question is worth $1,000 since I rolled a 10, and it's worth that.
Yes.
Good.
From the Greek for forgetfulness, what is the medical term for memory loss? And that's Brandon.
That is. Dang it! I had this.
No, sorry, Doug.
Amnesia?
Amnesia's correct. 1,000 takes you to $23.95. Next roll. All right, there will not be another roll because time is up. Boy, that was a fun round of big money. So let's take a look at where we stand in this moment. Right now in third place, our gold player, Doug Trovinger, with $2,395. In second place is our green player, Brandon Scruggs, at $6,560. And in first place currently is our champion, Scott McVay, with $9,270. So as we go to our final break here, we are going to be selling back all of our players' upgrades. And when we come back and we add that into their totals, we're going to find out who's going on to our bonus game for $50,000 right here on Monopoly. Back here with you on Monopoly. Boy, we have had so much fun here tonight on this episode. I know I've had a blast. I hope you have too. It is that time, though, to find out who is going to be our champion. So let's get to it. As always, we start with our player that was in third place coming out of the last round, Doug Trovinger. He had $2,395. Unfortunately, we can't add anything as he still does not own a Monopoly. He's on a 2-game losing streak of having no Monopolies whatsoever to his name, meaning tonight he finishes with $2,395. Our player that was in second place at the end of the big money round, Brandon Scruggs, had $6,560. He was able to have 6 hotels that he was able to sell back, which was able to net him an additional $1,500, bringing his total tonight to $8,060. Which, of course, makes this next thing a little anticlimactic, as our first place player, Scott McVay, already had $9,270, and there's no way to lose money at this point. But when we sell back all of his hotels, he is able to net an additional $4,000, meaning tonight he finishes with $13,270. Sephy, you have won your third game of Monopoly. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. You all
Good
did
job.
too.
You
all did great.
Dang.
All right. Well, we'll be back with you here in just a moment, Sephy. First, we are going to go in order, talk to our players here. We will start with Mr. Doug Trovinger. Doug, you gave one of your better showings that you've had with us here on Monopoly. $2,395 you were able to add to your total tonight. So tell me, now that you've made it to the end of your second game this season, how are you able to kind of judge where you're at in your growth here on Monopoly?
I think that, in terms of like answering questions, just making sure that I hear the answers. I know I was a little bit preemptive on a couple of them, but I had to take some shots, and some risks in a couple places, and they actually did pay off. So, I mean, I was in the hole by a couple $100, but to end with $23.95, I'm actually quite tickled, because that will help, and hopefully the next time I play, I'll get a couple monopolies on the board, and then continue to build my standing, in the leaderboard. Maybe I could sneak in the bottom.
Well, and I can tell you right now, just taking a quick look here, you have got yourself, let's see, we've got 12 names on the board. Let's see, there's 12, 11, 10. If I'm correct here, and this is looking quickly, you are now in 9th place overall. Your total for the season, $3,075. Now, there's no way that's going to hold up all the way to the end. But just according to how things go the rest of the season, and of course there's still lots of people that haven't got a chance to jump in and play yet, there is a chance. So knowing that you're in 9th right now, there's 12 people that have played so far this season, you do at least give yourself a chance. You should be proud of your growth. I think the key for you is going to be sometimes you may just have to take a little bit more of a risk and jump in there. Because yes, Sephy and Brandon both fast on the buzzer. We got a lot of people here that are fast on the buzzer, and if you don't take some risks, that's going to make it a little difficult for you to win. But you're improving, and that's what's important. So congratulations to you on that tonight. Again, $3,075 for the season, and we look forward to seeing you back here again later in the season.
Absolutely. Thank you for hosting, and Jason, thank you for being the dice roller.
Yay.
Yes, yay is what we say. So good job there. Give it up one more time for Doug Trovinger. As of course now we move our way over to our second place player, Brandon Scruggs. Brandon, this time $8,060 to your name. So compared to how you played last time against Sephy, a much better improvement. There last time you only got 3125 on him, so you about 2.5 times as much. So you're on your way towards him, but just not enough tonight.
Yeah, first off, it helps when you do get monopolies on the board. Second of all, the big thing is, like, if there's no hostile takeovers, let's say, it becomes just a matter of hoping that he doesn't actually know something. And that's very rare for Sephy. He's very knowledgeable and knows what he does. So I'm like, there's nothing I could do about that. But like I said, a lot of the Monopoly board wouldn't have looked the same, but he was just super fast on that buzzer tonight, because half of the ones we were competing in, we were in the showdown rounds for the properties. Like, I knew the answer, but he was literally like maybe where I thought I've hit my buzzer, and I buzzed in. I look over and I see Scott's name lit up, and I'm like, how? There's no way he beat me to that. And I'm like, but like I said, just ridiculously fast, and again, that's half the battle in this game. Just it wasn't my night for it.
And as they say, knowing is half the battle. What they don't tell you is the other half of the battle is buzzing in quick enough to beat some of these fast-ass buzzer people around here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, kid.
I think you've beaten me a couple times on the buzzer too, Brandon.
Yeah, but you clearly you had the better of me that whole acquisition round.
But yeah, so again, very good showing tonight. A lot of nights, 80-60 would be enough to win the game. Unfortunately, Sephy is absolutely a buzzsaw right now. It's going to take a Herculean effort by somebody to take him down. You gave it a good run. It's always good to have you here with us on the program. Definitely hope to see you back here again with us later in the season.
I will try my best.
And, of course, as he makes his way out right now, he's still in second place overall, $125,825. Give it up for Brandon Scruggs.
Okay.
And now we come over to the man of the hour, Scott Sephy McVay, $13,270 tonight there, Sephy. Right now, that's got your total for the season up to $134,450.
Wow.
How are you feeling at the end of that one?
Well, like I say, sometimes I'm still impressed with how things went, but like I said, I'm also pretty shocked at times too. And I'll be honest here. We all know Brandon is a great player, and unfortunately, he is correct though that in this case, I've actually been improving my buzzing speeds here. Actually, I remember when I first started here, I was not exactly the fastest guy though, but I did keep trying though. And like I said, just sometimes, again, I looked at this board here, and there were times when I had a feeling that he could have actually had a good chance, as well. But then again, maybe it's just the way the dice rolled again this week.
And hey, that is true. You can never know how those dice are going to roll. I think one of the big things for you is that even when you get behind in that acquisition phase and you're needing to get 2 correct answers to take a Monopoly, you continue to find ways to fight back and keep yourself in the running to be able to eventually take that Monopoly. And it seems like for the most part you've been holding ground on having the majority of the monopolies, and that goes a long way when you get into the big money round and you're just hitting property after property after property.
Exactly, yes.
Well, now comes that time, of course. You've been able to take us for our bonus game money 2 games in a row, so that means we're going to keep things at just their base level. But if you're ready, Sephy, I know everybody out there probably is, it's time for us to go once around the block. Of course, as always, this is one of the more fun times of the evening for everybody to get to our once around the block bonus game. Officer Bar Brady there ready to go. So let's remind everybody out there how this works. Of course, Sephy, you are going to get 5 rolls to make your way around this board. If you can make your way all the way around the board and make it past go, we're going to give you $25,000. But if you can land exactly on go, as you've already done once this season, we'll double it and give you an additional $50,000. Now, of course, for every spot you make it around the board, that's $100 that's going to go in that center jackpot, which is yours to keep as long as you do not hit a go-to-jail space during our time. Right now, we've got the 1 go-to-jail space in the upper right-hand corner, but as always, we've got to add 4 more. So let's go ahead and start with 2nd Street, where we're going to add 1 between St. Charles Place and New York Avenue.
Okay, let's try the similar pattern I did last week, which got me the 25 grand. So for 2nd Street, we're going to do Virginia Avenue.
Okay, and then we need 1 on 3rd Street between Kentucky Avenue and Marvin Gardens.
And I usually go with the B&O Railroad.
And then 2 on 4th Street between Pacific Avenue and Boardwalk.
We'll do Pacific and Chance.
All right, so we've got that set up there. Board's looking good. Of course, remember, if you roll doubles at any time as you're making your way around, we'll give you extra rolls. As we said, be careful. If you ever hit go to jail, all that money in the middle is going to go away. You'll only keep what you won in the front game. So, of course, if you are ready, I know everybody else out there is ready. Let's go once around the block. Here is your buzzer. That'll make it to where the rock and roller stops. Jason's got it fired up, so you tell it when to stop.
Okay, let's see. Guaranteed first good roll. Stop.
4 and 6 for a 10.
There's that damn 10 again.
There's those 10s again.
All right, $1,000 is in your bank. You've got 4 rolls remaining. Your only bad roll is a 4.
All right. I have a very good shot at this. Let's keep going here.
All right, the rock and roller's going again. Push that red button.
Okay, once again, praying for no 4s. Now.
1 and 5 for a 6.
All right, we've made it over 600 in there, so we're at $1,600 now. You've got 3 rolls remaining, $1,600. You could walk away with that if you so choose, or you can continue on where your bad roll is a 9.
All right. I have a good feeling again here. Only one bad number. Let's keep rolling.
Let's keep on going. The rock and roller's going. You hit that red button when you're ready.
All right. Once again, trying to hope for no 9s. Now.
6 and 3 for a 9.
I'm so sorry.
It had to happen.
It did have to happen eventually. Officer Barbrady's not gotten to have any fun in quite a while at this point, but he gets to have it here tonight. So, yeah, nothing doing this time. So, of course, you get no bonus money, but you do get to keep what you won in the front game. So, $13,270 is still yours. You've got 3 wins in a row. And I'll remind everybody, if he's able to win 2 more games, that's going to put him at the 5-game plateau. And, Jason, what happens when we have players at Grandma Studios that gets 5 wins in a row?
Well, what happens? A thing happens. And that thing involves us saying, "It's a new car!" And that's the dueling music again.
We just like it. It's in stereo.
Yes, Sephy, if you get that elusive 5th win, we'll give you a brand new car. Third.
Yes. So, yeah, 2 games away from that. So, we'll see you back here again next week, Sephy.
Here.
All right, well, we look forward to that. Well, this is the time I bring Jason back over. Jason, of course, we had our dueling music going on there. I didn't even hear yours, so I was like, well, let me hit the button here. I had it fired up and ready to go. So, but yeah, Sephy is just absolutely dominating right now, and it's looking like we're going to have a tough time finding anybody to take him down.
It's the pool of contestants is vast indeed. We just have to find the one that has what it takes. Maybe we'll get lucky next week. Maybe Sephy will get lucky and have a 4th win under his belt. Who knows?
Well, and as we know, since there was no bonus game money won there, that's $5,000 that's going to go into the $25,000 pot, bringing it to $30,000, which means then we add $10,000 into the super jackpot, which now takes it up to $60,000 for next week. So we'll see if any of those monies can be won. And again, as Jason alluded to there, we're trying to see if we can find some people in the contestant pool that's willing and able and ready to take Sephy down. Could that be you? Are you not a member of MVG Productions yet? If not, I've got to ask, why the hell not? This is the absolute premier place to be when it comes to game show recreation and just good guys hanging around and having a lot of fun. We give each other some crap, but buddy, we have a lot of fun while we do it. And I can tell you this is the community. There ain't a lot of turnover around here because this is the place to be. You may see other communities that put out some good content, but this is the place. Things are hopping here 7 days a week, and we would love to have you a part of it. And I know Brandon would love to have you a part of it as well. Right, Brandon?
That is true. In fact, I'd love if you don't want to be a part of it. That's fine. We would just love your support out there in YouTube land just by clicking the subscribe button. Because as of recent numbers, as I've checked, 70% of the people who watch all of our content here aren't subscribed. Why not? It's very simple. It takes 1 second. See that button down below this video? It says subscribe. All you got to do is push that button, and then all this great content that comes out here on the channel will come directly into your subscription box each and every week, so you won't miss out on any of the action, whether it be Monopoly, the Barry and Enright Cup, Card Sharks, Talk About, Gold Mine, any of the other great game shows that are currently on air here on the channel. You won't miss it. And all you got to do, like I said, 1 button, that's all it takes. You don't pay for it. It's all free. It's content from all of us here to you out there. So just please hit the subscribe button. That's all you got to do.
That is absolutely all you've got to do. And again, we're getting to that time of year. We're only 22 days away now from the way all of us love watching the year go out, and that's with the Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour. So we are definitely looking forward to that coming up very soon. And we know when that flips over to January 1st, that means we are only months away then from the next game show marathon, and I know we're all looking forward to that, and it won't be too awful long in the future. I know Brandon will be getting ready for that, and lots of great stuff coming up here in 2025 with Grandma Studios and MVG Productions. Stay tuned really soon. From what I hear, the store's coming together, so it's not going to be long before you might see a t-shirt out there that says, "Words English Can't," care of Jason Myers, that you might see a shirt that says, "It's a 2," care of the Sorry Game Show. There is lots of stuff coming your way, and we do it because we love game shows. We do it because we love to put on a great product for you guys. And I know it's always a big thrill for us because as you guys see us go out here and you don't hear us talking anymore, and we go through the national anthem and the closing and stuff, you guys are still there in live chat, and you stay with us every week all the way to the and we're sitting there watching along and just cracking up and loving every minute of it. We love the comments you guys make and deciding which going to be that week's national anthem. So we really appreciate that. Please continue, as Brandon said, subscribe. Make sure you like this video. If you don't like it, please reach out to us and tell us, what could we do different that you might like to see? If there's something just about the game in general, you like it, but you're like, hey, did you ever think about this? Let us know. Again, you can find me on Discord at TurdFerguson21, so we would definitely love to hear from you. But it's time for us to get out of here for this week. So from all of us at MVG Productions and Grandma Studios, he was Jason Myers, I'm Turd Ferguson, and you sure as hell aren't. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for the Barry and Enright Cup, right here. Monopoly and MVG and Grandma Studios taking the world by storm. Until then, good night, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, as the final buzzer sounds and the lights dim on another exciting day, we bid farewell here at MVG Productions, broadcasting from the heart of Sylva, North Carolina. Today we've seen contestants triumph, puzzles unravel, and fortunes change. We hope our game shows brought you thrills, laughter, and maybe a few nail-biting moments. Thank you for being a part of our audience, supporting us, and recognizing the vision of Brandon Scruggs, who owns and operates MVG Productions. Until next time, we leave you with our national anthem. Good night.